Okay, welcome everybody tonight to our December 2nd town board meeting, the last one for the year. Before we get started, I'd like everybody to stand and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. So tonight we have with us our town board, consisting of Andrew Riggenbaum, Steve Moreau, Sylvia Santiago, Steve Bedetti. We also have our town clerk, Kelly Allegra, and helping us out tonight. We have Katrina from the supervisor's office and Danielle from IT, because we're virtual and we need a little help. So the first item on the agenda will be a public hearing regarding the temporary moratorium on all development approvals in the town of New Windsor. And what this has to do with is that the moratorium's been put in place again. So I think it's probably April or May. And we're proposing some exemptions or exceptions and that they don't have any impact on the sewer or water or traffic any more than a 1 or 2 family subdivision would have. So it also allows folks to go to the planning board with a project at their own risk, because the moratorium is still in place. And if it would have more than an impact than those single-family homes would have, then probably it would not be permitted. And another exception would be for first responders who wanted to build something in the Windsor, meaning a building of some type for the fire or ambulance or police department. So that being said, this is what it's about. So at this point, I'll open for public comments on the proposed approvals. So is there anybody that we have? We'll wait a few minutes. If not, and we'll see if anybody pops up. Hey, Katrina, you got anybody coming in on emails? How about you, Daniel? Anybody on the phone? Okay. So at this point, does somebody want to say something? No? Okay. At this point, Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, close the public hearing regarding the adoption of local law 7/2020 entitled Local Law to amend local law 1/2020 entitled Temporary Moratorium on All Development Approvals in the Town of Windsor. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Riggenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, in accordance with the New York State Constitution, Article 9, Section 2C, Municipal Home Rule, Section 10, and Resolution annexed hereto, does hereby adopt local law number 7/2020 entitled Local Law to amend Local Law 1/2020 entitled Temporary Moratorium on All Development in the Town of Windsor and direct the town clerk to publish same pursuant to applicable law. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Riggenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. So what this means is that people can go to the planning board with no guarantees. The moratorium is still in place. And if they have an impact on the traffic or the sewer or the water any more than a 1 or 2 family subdivision would have, then it would not be approved. Okay, the next item on the agenda is another public hearing regarding the tax rescinding and appeal the local law 5/2020 override a tax levy limit established by New York State and the General Municipal Law Section 3C. We stayed under that tax limit, so we just now have to override it and close it out. And it's a requirement as of a public hearing. So I don't know that anybody would want to comment, but we will open it up for comments for a little bit and see if anybody has anything they want to say. Katrina, anything out there? No? Okay. So I didn't think that there'd be anybody that interested in this because we stayed under that override limit and just a requirement by the state that we go through this formality. So Chair Lynn and the Town of New Windsor, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, to close the public hearing in the matter of proposed local law 8/2020 to repeal and rescind local law 5/2020, which authorized an override of the tax limit established in the general municipal law, section 3C. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. So what that means is that we did not override the tax levy. We stayed underneath it, and that is now with the Chair of the Washington Town Board, Town of Windsor, pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 3D2, adopt local law 8/2020 entitled Local Law to repeal and rescind local law 5/2020 of the Town Code, Town of Windsor, entitled Local Law to override the tax levy limit established in the General Municipal Law, Section 3C, and direct the town clerk to publish same pursuant to law. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is any public comments that people have on the agenda items, which was posted the other day on our website and on the town's Facebook. So we'll hold up for a minute or two and see if anybody has any comments they'd like to make on the agenda items. Trina, Danielle, okay, so this looks like everybody wants to comment. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, approve the minutes of the regular Town Board meeting held November 4th, 2020, as per a copy of those minutes posted on the Town Clerk's Bulletin Board and Town Hall, same having been distributed to each of the Town Board members. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby determine that the reconstruction and/or resurfacing of various roads in the Town of Windsor is a type 2 action pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and further authorize the adoption of the attached bond resolution, the amount not to exceed $6 million for said roadway reconstruction or resurfacing. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this has to do with the Town Board is aware that the town roads need to be resurfaced and redone, so we're going to do a borrowing. And it's about 100 miles of town roads, and the Highway Superintendent, Anthony Feo, has been working with the town engineer, putting together what roads need to be done, and it'll probably be a 5-year project, but when we're done, all the town roads will be paved or reclaimed in dire need. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, hereby determine that the reconstruction and/or resurfacing of the Town New Windsor Town Hall parking lot is a type 2 action pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act. Further authorize the adoption of the attached bond resolution, the amount not to exceed $275,000 for said reconstruction or resurfacing of the town parking lot. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is a bond we're taking to repave the town hall complex. In desperate need of being done. We have done some, town highway superintendent has done a lot of the drainage work already, so as soon as the spring breaks, we'll get started on this project. To receive and file, hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor shall receive and file the attached certificate to the clerk as to no referendum for the conveyance of the town-owned property commonly known as Verplank Avenue to global companies for the sum of $65,000. This is a little piece of land that the town is looking to sell to global industries down the road that has no use to us, and they're interested in that little parcel. So we was Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file town clerk a surety bond to permit bond number B158063 submitted by Spagnoli Excavating Incorporated, amending its mailing address to Post Office Box 4288 New Windsor, New York, 12553. This is just Spagnoli has changed his mailing address and notified us, and we just need to receive and file that. Shall I entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, declare itself lead agency for the sewer plant expansion, outflow or relocation, and treatment upgrades of Jesus Lane's water treatment plant. Determine same is an unlisted action which will not have a significant environmental impact, and adopt the attached negative declaration in accordance with the resolution that annexed here to. Motion?
Moved. Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
yes,
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is another step forward in the town board's plan to get this sewer treatment plant up to snuff. The Department of DEC is breathing down our neck, and we're in the process of bringing it up to date now. We have 2 or 3 projects going on, and we're going to expand the plant, and it will take some time, but we're marching forward. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file the attached change order number 1 with Blue Heron Construction LLC for the project known as Caesars Lane Wastewater Treatment Plant Disinfection System for additional work as follows: sludge, grit removal, and disposal of microscheme building, as well as rerouting of the existing 3-inch treatment plant. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
yes,
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is one of those projects that we spoke about, and when they started digging into it, they noticed that there was a whole lot more sludge and grit that they needed to be cleaned out. It's a change order for them to complete that work. Get that step finished. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby authorizes environmental legal counsel Wells Fall and Ray, attorneys for law, to commence litigation against any and all parties believed to be responsible for damages caused by contamination of the Better Hill wells, including its aquifer and all water which sources same, and further to take any and all action necessary to seek legal redress and recoup any or all costs associated with said contamination. Motion?
Move.
Roll call.
Second.
All right, now we'll do a roll call. Go ahead.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
yes,
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is the town just beginning its legal litigation against anyone who may have been responsible for this contamination of the Butter Hill wells. And the water down there is now pretty decent coming in and very, very good going out. And but somebody is responsible for this, and hopefully we'll get to the bottom of it. Everybody's pointing fingers, but somebody's responsible. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize super to execute agreement attached hereto between the Town of Windsor and the Windsor Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Inc., doing business as the Windsor Emergency Medical Services for the provision of ambulance services and pre-hospital emergency treatment. Said agreement is effective January 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2021. Motion?
move,
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
yes,
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is the annual agreement we have with our emergency medical services. And the town board has upped their allowance a little bit more, the allocation a little bit more each month, about $2,000 or $3,000 because of the number of calls that they go on. And they are definitely the premier agency in Orange County. And under Mike Big, on behalf of the board, I appreciate everything they do for us and especially our residents. So when they show up at your house, you have a chance. They do a good job and they have professionals on board, and we're glad to have them as part of our operation. Shall I entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby authorize supervisor and all council members to sign public employee dishonesty certificate of account in the amount of $100,000 for the period of December 24th, 2020 to December 24th, 2021, with reference to the collection of county town taxes pursuant to collection officers warrant issued by the Orange County Legislature for 2021 county town tax. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call, I'm sorry.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is an annual thing we're required to do, and it's the $100,000. Everybody has to stop in and sign it with, I think, the clerk's office. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board of New Windsor, authorize the transfer of $440,000 from Parklands Recreation Fund to General Fund and Highway Fund as applicable pursuant to attached memorandum received from the Town Controller's Office dated November 20th, 2020. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is the upgrades that we've done to most of our parks. And it was the money taking in from developers that's put in this Parklands Fund. And we've, Town Board authorized the upgrade of all the equipment. And now we're just reimbursing the general fund for the $440,000 that we spent update. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize a transfer of $76,600 from the New Windsor Woodlawn Cemetery Investment Fund to the general fund pursuant to attached memorandum received from the Town Controller's Office dated November 20th, 2020. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is the transfer from the Woodlawn Cemetery Fund into the general fund for money that was spent on the Woodlawn Cemetery. Just like to mention the good job that the town clerk's office does with this and Recreation Department, Keith Bedetti and his crew. It's really doing a fine job with that cemetery we were forced to take over. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, adopt the attached amended cemetery rules and monument regulations for the New Windsor Woodlawn Cemetery. These rules, as adopted, may be viewed in the town clerk's office during normal business hours. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I'd just like to acknowledge the work done on this by the town clerk Kelly Allegra and Dave Zagon's office putting this together. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize the town clerk to advertise pursuant to law calling for sealed proposals for the purchase of police worn camera systems. Said advertisement will be published in the town's designated official newspaper on December 4th, 2020, with requests for a proposal to be made available for prospective bidders beginning on December 7th. In recognition of Executive Order 202.11, all proposals shall be received and opened on the 30th day of December 2020 at 10 a.m. at the office of the Town Clerk, Town of Windsor, 555 Union Avenue, Windsor, New York. The proposal opening will be live streamed over the internet on the town's Facebook page, subject to continuation of the aforementioned executive order. The Town Board, Town of Windsor reserves the right to reject any and all bids and waive any informality or technicality in the proposal if deemed to be the best interest of the town. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is the body cams that we are moving forward on purchasing about 50 of them, or about 50 of them for use by our police department. And it will take us to a point where we will be seeing what's going on. And sometimes there are some complaints made that are not valid, and sometimes they are valid. And this will be an official recording, and we'll be able to kind of see exactly what happened during the encounter. So I'd like to just acknowledge the work by the John McDonald, the IT department, and Chief Dawson, the police department, in putting this together. Hopefully we'll have this up and running early in 2021. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, whereas the County of Orange by and through the Department of Emergency Services is the recipient of DWI Enforcement Crackdown Grant Funds for the New York State Stop DWI Foundation Incorporated Crackdown, which is responsible to disperse to municipalities located in Orange County, which seek to conduct additional police patrol enforcement during peak holiday hours in the years 2020, 2021, in an effort to reduce alcohol-related traffic injuries and fatalities. Now, whereas the town of New Windsor wishes to participate in the aforementioned crackdown program, now it therefore be resolved that the town board of town of New Windsor approve the receipt of said funds on behalf of the town of New Windsor Police Department from the County of Orange, hereby authorize the chief of police or his designee to execute all necessary contracts and documents with regard to this available funds. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is a grant of $4,800 that will be used for overtime for the police officers to be out and about checking for people who may be driving while intoxicated. And as I mentioned a number of times at many of our meetings, we still have people out there driving while intoxicated. Shall entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, pursuant to the authority granted by the Town Law Section 271(7)C, does hereby waive all training requirements for all members of the planning board for the year 2020 in accordance with the attached resolution, which shall take effect immediately. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I'll speak to this motion in a minute. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, pursuant to the authority granted by New York State Town Law Section 267(7)C, does hereby waive all training requirements for all members of the Zoning Board of Appeals for the year 2020 in accordance with the attached resolution, which shall take effect immediately. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, these last two motions have to do with the pandemic, the COVID pandemic that's ongoing. And there was no in training that we could send these folks to this year. We only had one new member, but he's being coached by the members who were there. And just as an aside, I just read a little while ago that New Windsor was #1 in Orange County yesterday with 153 positive tests. So that's out of 40 municipalities, we have the distinction of being #1. Why? We have no idea. We think it may be because we're a bedroom community and the city of Newburgh's high, the town of Newburgh's high. So it seems to be on this eastern end that something's going on. Hearing no objections, Town Board, Town of Windsor receive and file the attached site restoration bond underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company in the amount of $1,005,795 from the Amazon.com Services LLC for its site located at 500 Hudson Valley Avenue in New Windsor, New York, Section 3, Block 1, Lot 54-2. This has to do with Amazon, who had some stormwater that they were going to discharge towards the New York City's aqueduct, and they wanted insurances that if there was any damage that Amazon would fix it. Amazon agreed to post this bond of over $1 million, and hopefully this will never come rear its ugly head. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of New Windsor receive and file the attached letter of self-insurance form from Amazon.com Services LLC in the amount of $5 million for environmental pollution protection and liability exposure for any illegal discharge from Amazon.com Services LLC located at 500 Hudson Valley Avenue, New Windsor, New York, Section 3, Block 1, Lot 54.2, onto lands of New York City Department of Environmental Protection. This is the same issue, and this time there's a $5 million fund being posted. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receive and file the attached revocable land use permit 3381 issued by New York City Department of Environmental Conservation to Amazon.com Services LLC for use of New York City owned water supply land in connection with the Amazon.com Services LLC occupancy of 500 Hudson Valley Avenue in its final site plan approval for Amazon.com Services, the truck transfer terminal. So this is New York City saying, okay, you can do this since you posted all those bonds. Hearing no objection, the town board town of Windsor receive and file with the town clerk the attached monthly reports for the following departments. This is all for November 2020. Justice Calderon, Justice Myers, Police Department, Building Department, Recreation Department, Tax Receiver, Utility Report, Town Clerk, the Windsor Emergency Medical Services, and those reports will all be on file with the Town Clerk's office if anybody's interested in getting a look at it. Okay, that wraps up that portion of the town board meeting. The next portion and last portion is a public forum where people can comment on anything that they'd like to comment on or ask a question, and we'll do our best to answer them. So we'll kind of stand by for a minute to see if there's anybody who wants to make a comment or ask a question.
How's everybody doing? My name is Jason. I just had a quick question about the roads being paved.
Yes.
Is there going to be like a public distribution on, what how the phases are going to work out, like what area is going to go first and second, all that kind of fun stuff?
Yeah, I just spoke to the highway superintendent about that the other day. When we put it together, we're going to say each year what section is going to be done. Probably it comes out to maybe, I don't know, 20 miles a year, depending upon, some of the roads will need to be reclaimed and some of them will just need to be topped. So we will be putting that out.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Katrina. Okay, I'll just make a couple of comments. I kind of make it my business to monitor the town's Facebook page. And there's been some discussion on there about garbage pickup. And just so people understand how these garbage districts, there are garbage districts set up. And people in those garbage districts have their garbage and other things picked up by the town. And if you're not in a garbage district, you don't get anything picked up. But some people on Facebook thought it was just like if you had friends in town hall, you got your garbage picked up. Well, that's not the way it goes. If you are in a garbage district, you pay a yearly tax for that. For instance, in my house, I pay about $650 a year in garbage tax. If you are not in a garbage district, then you don't pay garbage tax. So I want people to understand that it's some of this crazy talk on Facebook about if you have friends in town hall, your garbage gets picked up. No, if you pay a garbage tax, then your garbage gets picked up. And I've talked to people who are not in the garbage district, and they tell me that usually it's like $50, $60 a month that they pay, which works out to pretty much what I said I am. Another thing I just kind of reiterate for people that your taxes, you get very confused about your taxes. Your tax bill is school tax, town tax, county tax. We, the town, are 15% of your tax bill. We are not 100%, we are 15%. And we are providing all these services for you for 15% of the tax bill. So I just think that some people get confused. And then someone started talking about they're getting water from Brown's Pond. No, they're not getting water from Brown's Pond. It was mentioned that Brown's Pond is on a standby in case we have some issues with the Delaware Aqueduct. So some people hear that and they kind of make their own mind up. So I don't mind answering questions or kind of talking to anybody about anything, but I do get a little off when people make comments and I have no idea what they're talking about. But I am available almost night and day to talk to you to explain why things are the way they are. So I just wanted to clear a few things up for people who seem to be very, very, very confused. Any of the town board members have anything they'd like to say about anything at all?
I'd like to say happy holidays to everybody in New Windsor.
Okay, thank you very much. And the same to you. Okay, Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, adjourn the town board meeting at 7:29 p.m. Motion?
Move.
Roll call.
Second.
Councilman Ragamon,
Roll call.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in. See you next year.
Thank you. Will do. Thank you and happy holidays to everyone. Thanks.
You too, Sylvia. All right, Kelly,